remember my forehead? Here it is. Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren and I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things. Sorry there hasn't been a video in a while or a weekly vlog this week. I am currently in the middle of filming my reading progress of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but the last 3 days I've just been in bed. I have been reading, but I have been in bed because I am in the kind of middle of a, well, not kind of, I am definitely in the middle of a fibromyalgia flare, and the last couple of days it's been very bad. Today is the first day I was able to actually get up and get dressed and put some makeup on, and I feel like an entirely different human. I had to go to Boots today for the pharmacy, so, and aside from my actual pharmacy that's attached to my doctor's and my house, I haven't been anywhere since March, so to go into Boots was very surreal and very weird, but I feel normal and I feel like an actual human being again, which has just been amazing for me mentally, to just see the outside world and know that it exists and there's a thing, and it didn't scare me as much as I thought it was going to. I haven't filmed a video because, like I said, I haven't been feeling great, but I wanted to film something, and I did a Disney quiz on Life of Keris's channel. Library of Keris. I don't know why I said life. My brain. A week ago on Saturday, and it was really fun, but the best thing about it was that I was able to meet loads of amazing booktubers and creators, which has been incredible. And one of them, Esme, I've been, like, her blog is incredible. I will link it down below, but I've been watching her videos as well, and she filmed the stay at home book tag a couple months ago, and it was created by Madison Mary from Princess of Paperback. And what have I been doing? Staying at home, because I am considered high risk, so aside from literally medical reasons I haven't gone outside and like little walks and stuff. So I wanted to do this tag, so I will link Esme's video and I will also link the original video down below in the description, but I thought this would be a fun video to do. So the first question / prompt of this book tag is laying in bed, and that equals to a book you could have read in a day, and that is The Dangerous Art of Blending In by Angelo Semelis. This is a book I got for my birthday from my sister-in-law, and it focuses on 17-year-old Evan. His mum is very strict. She just sees him as a disappointment. His dad doesn't really want to get involved in their arguments because his dad wants to try and avoid conflict, and Evan is starting to have feelings for his best friend Henry, and it seems like Henry is also reciprocating those feelings and wants to go from what they are now to more than friends. But as his relationship with Henry carries on, his relationship with his mum gets worse and she gets worse, and it is everything from there. This book has been on my wish list for the longest time, and I know it is a book I could just sit and read in a day, and I want to try and do that more, especially if I am in bed and struggling. Although I have been reading ballads, so that's why I have not read anything else, but I know this is a book I could just chill on a weekend, sit down and read in one go, and I want to try and do that a little bit more because I used to do that all the time. So yes, this is that one. The second prompt is snacking, and that is your guilty pleasure book, and I've gone for Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, but I'm gonna add for this that it's essentially anything Becky Albertalli has ever written. So I am 25. Becky Albertalli's books are YA, and they usually focus on teenagers, and I'm not a teenager anymore. I still read YA. I still read a lot of YA, like a lot of what I read, but I am getting a lot more into adult fiction and adult fantasy now. But Becky Albertalli is someone that no matter how old I get, I will buy her books because I just really love the way that she writes. And I don't even necessarily think any book I read is like a guilty pleasure, but I guess it is one that I am just unapologetically like, I will buy a Becky Albertalli book the second it's out. And there is a new Creekwood, like Love Creekwood book coming out at the end of June, I think, which I'm so buzzed for. So Becky Albertalli always. The third prompt is Netflix, and that is a series that you want to start, and that is Game of Thrones, well, A Song of Ice and Fire. There goes Sarah, I got it right. I've wanted to read this series for the longest time, and at one point I was like, no, I'm never going to do it. And I actually had the books, and I got rid of the books, and I was like, no. Well, no, I had the first book. And I was like, I'm never going to read these, like, not my thing. I think I was like 19 or something. And then I watched the show. My friend Sarah, is her, like, favourite series, and the book series is her favourite series. I watched the show and I thought there's so much more to this that I know I could love if I finally get around to these books. And I was going to read them in May, but I'm not going to read them in May now, and I'm not going to read them in June because of all the Pride Month stuff going on. But by the end of this year, I bloody want to finish this series. I just want to get it done. I want to finally read it, finally talk about it. I will document the process of reading Game of Thrones, but I just need to finally get round to reading this series. Like, I just need to do it. And I think now I've read a lot of adult fantasy books and I've delved into that world a lot more, and it's something that I found I really, really, really enjoy. I don't think I'm going to struggle as much as I did when I first tried to read it, so I think I did the good thing not reading it back then, because I just think I wouldn't have liked it, and I think I probably would have DNF'd it and not finished it. I think I did a really good job waiting and getting myself to the right point in time for me to read it. So then we have Deep Clean, and that is a book that's been on your TBR for ages, and that is A Little Life by Hannah Yanagihara. This is a book I have had for 2 years on my shelf now, but it's been on my radar for a lot longer than that, and I've just put it off and put it off and put it off because every person, even the person that recommended this book to me, told me that it would absolutely break me. So I was with them, we were book shopping, I was with them, recommended it, it was on the desk in Waterstones, recommended it to me, and I was like, oh, okay, I will read that. So I bought it, and as we were leaving, she's like, it's literally gonna ruin you, like, it will break you, it is so much. And I was like, okay, that doesn't make me, like, that's terrifying, right? And it's been on my shelf ever since, and all my friends, when they see it's on my shelf, they say, oh, I read that. That'll be a lot for you, because they know what I'm like emotionally. And I'm like, okay, stressed. And then Esme, who I was talking about before, she did a vlog recently where she read it and said it was really, really good, and it was 5 out of 5 stars, but it also, she said she was very broken. And I was like, hey, I need to read it. I do need to read this. I need to get around to it and actually read it. It is a goal of mine to read it this year, but I am terrified of it. It scares me. It so scares me. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to get round to it, and I'm going to read A Little Life. I haven't read it by the end of this year. You all have permission to just disown me. Then the prompt is Animal Crossing, a book you bought recently for the hype, and that is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. As you can see, I am making my way through this book. I have, oh my god, okay, I actually have 5 chapters left. That's it. Oh my god, okay, so I have 5 chapters left. I should have just finished this last night. I will finish this today. There will be a reading vlog. This is the Hunger Games prequel. It focuses on an 18-year-old Snow, Corellani, I can't say, isn't it? President Snow, but when he's 18 and he's not the president, and he becomes the mentor for the District 12 tribute in the 10th Hunger Games, and it is absolutely brutal. Like, it is so brutal. These games, you think that the games that we know are brutal, this is brutal. This is horrific. So many times I've been talking to Lily from Lily Al Reads. I will link hers down below. I'm just talking about all these people today. And Lily is a fab, and she loves the Hunger Games. She has some really good videos about the Hunger Games, which I just appreciate. The videos that she's made are just chef's kiss. Am I enjoying it? I have lots of thoughts, and I think I need to, you'll see in the vlog. But yeah, I have 5 chapters left, but I definitely bought this one recently because this is one of the most hype-booked books of this year, and I obviously had to read it. I had to read it. I was obsessed with the Hunger Games when I was a teenager. To this day, I say the Hunger Games are one of the best dystopian fantasy books. They are incredible. Suzanne Collins' mind, the way that the world works in there, and the certain things, and how clever it is, the bits that she puts in and things that she adds, it's just very clever and very well done. And I will hold the Hunger Games on a pedestal for a very long time. But you know, I've watched, while I was in bed the last couple of days, I watched Mockingjay Part 2. I watched every film, and then I watched Mockingjay Part 2, and I was like, I liked that more than I remembered, like the film. Because the films, I think, are some of the best adaptations. Like Catching Fire and Mockingjay Part 1 and 2 is just amazing. So I ended up watching Mockingjay Part 2 4 times in 2 days. And then I've got Productivity, a book that you learn from, a book that's had a really big impact on you, and that is, I mean, Ari and Dante, yes, 100%, but for the sake of talking about something else which has had a very big impact, we have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I absolutely adore this book. I did a whole review of this book last year. I will link it down below if you want to go and watch that. This book really took me by surprise. Everyone was telling me to read it for the longest time, and I just did a bad thing, and I judged it by the cover, and I thought it wasn't going to be what I wanted, but it is a beautiful, beautiful LGBTQ plus novel. Evelyn Hugo's bisexual, and as a PSA, please, when people talk about this book, can you say that she's bisexual? Because we need to talk about those things. Sexuality is not a spoiler. Saying who she ends up with and who she marries and all the stuff that goes on, that's a spoiler, but the fact that she's bisexual is not a spoiler, and you can say that. Like, that's okay. Sexuality is not a spoiler. People always worry about Ari and Dante as well, and they're like, well, I can't say their sexuality because it's a spoiler, and I'm like, yeah, but you can say that. Like, you can say it's an LGBTQ plus novel. That's absolutely fine, because sexuality is not a spoiler. But anyway, no one spoke about the fact that Evelyn Hugo was bisexual until I watched one review out of hundreds in which it was finally revealed to me that Evelyn Hugo was bisexual, and I was like, oh my god, okay. And it is this book also broke me, and it just had this impact on me. I dreamt about this book for about a week after I finished it. I couldn't put it down. I read the whole thing. It's literally like destroyed, because I just was reading it all the time, and I've reread it so many times, and I just think it's wonderful, and I just love this book so much. And I did read Daisy Jones and the Six, but I enjoyed it. It's not like I didn't enjoy it, but this book, like, it just spoke to me in such a specific way that I will never forget, and I absolutely adored it. So definitely Evelyn Hugo. And then the final prompt isn't book related, but it's self-care and something you've been doing recently to take care of yourself. And one thing that I've been doing is been not putting pressure on myself to read, because I haven't always been in the mood to read. In April I read 2 books and I failed the Owls, completely failed the Owls, but I just wasn't in the mood, and trying to force myself to read would make me feel worse. So I'm trying to not put that pressure on myself, trying to realise that it's absolutely okay if I don't get out of bed some days, or don't get dressed properly some days, or if some days the best thing I can do is get out of my bed and walk downstairs to get a cup of tea or something, that's okay. But even if on some days I can't do that and my mum brings tea to me because I'm in pain or because I don't feel, you know, like, that's okay as well. And I think lots of people jumped at the thing being like, let's be so productive during quarantine, let's be amazing, let's do all these things. And even I was like, I will finally finish my book and I will write it and I will do all of it, and oh my god, yes, 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 yes. But that's not realistic, and we're in such a weird time, and everything is weird, and everything's weird all over the world right now, and it's bizarre, and no one really knows what's happening. And all of my hospital appointments have been cancelled, so all of my physio, I'm supposed to do weekly physio, and it's been cancelled. So my body is like, what the like, it doesn't know what it's doing, because it's not getting the same level of care as it was, you know. And I can't go and see my doctors, I can't go and see the specialists that I see. And I think as well, mentally, there's been such an increase in mental health. And I think for me as well, I was really scared to go to Boots today, because I was like, what's it going to look like? What's the world going to look like? What's this shop going to be like? It's going to be terrifying. I'm not used to this. I don't know what it's going to be. And like, I have anxiety. I also have issues with sensory processing. So when things aren't what I'm used to, it can really like trigger me. So yeah, so it's weird. It's weird. And I think I've just been trying to look after myself and tell myself that it's okay if I don't do, you know, if I don't do anything one day. Don't feel bad about that, because that's okay and that's fine. So that's been my self-care, is just getting myself a bit of fresh air and not being too hard on myself. Thank you guys for watching. I really enjoyed this tag. I thought it was really good. I hope that you're all doing well and staying safe. I think we're coming to some sort of, not end, but I hope that we get to see family soon. I hope that, I just want to give my niece and nephew a cuddle. You know, I hope for everyone that we get some sort of sense of feeling a bit better soon. Like I said, if you guys are new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things, so if you want to stick around and join us, feel free to hit that subscribe button and also turn on the little bell. And as usual, all the links to my other social medias are in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really, 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 really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!